In this video, I am going to expose you to 3 different grants you can apply and win in less than 2 months. These are grants I have known repeatedly, so I am in a better position to guide you. Just watch this video to the end. Number 1. The Pollination Project Foundation. The Pollination Project, as you can see, is a seed grant of $1,000 awarded to a community volunteer referred to as community change maker to initiate or complete his projects. Every day, TTP fund at least one project. There are 3 different categories of grants offered by the pollination projects, and they are: number 1, daily grants; number 2, global animal advocacy; number 3, resilience and recovery fund. Now let's look at it categorically. Daily grants. Applications for this grant is open every day, including now that you are watching this video. The daily grant helps you to solve the day-to-day problems or challenges in your community. Examples of projects that can be funded under this category: in your community, if there is open defecation, automatically there is need for public toilets. If you are in a good position to do that, the Pollination Project Foundation will assist you with $1,000 to get public toilets for your community people. Planting of trees, community gardens are also very good examples of projects funded under this category. Another good example is those affected by the 2022 flood in Nigeria. We all know that crops and farmlands were destroyed. So, should you want to start a community garden against the looming food crisis in those communities, you can apply for these grants. Other examples of projects that can be funded under this grant will be shared at the Sanka Masterclass 2023, which shall come up on the 5th and 6th of May 2023. Let's look at the Global Animal Advocacy Grants. This is actually what the Pollination Project Foundation stands for. They are so mindful of animal rights. When we get to the eligibility, you will understand why I said so. But under this category, you can apply to advocate for animal rights, care for stranded animals, etc. The third one there is Resilience and Recovery Fund. This category is purely for emergency. When there is natural disaster such as the COVID-19 outbreak, the 2022 flood in Nigeria, etc. Or when there is an emergency that is time-bound, you can apply under the Resilience and Recovery Fund. This is one of the fastest grants I have ever benefited from. Without wasting much time, let me take you through the eligibility. These are the eligibility criteria. I will take only a few ones that needs explanation so that you can read the rest at your own leisure. Now, who is eligible to apply for a grant from the Pollination Projects? I'm taking just number 6, 7, 9, and 10. Number 6. Anything that have to do with farming, trading, or eating of animals is prohibited by TTP. That's TPP. That's the Pollination Projects will not fund any business, will not fund any projects that has to do with the farming, trading, or eating of animals. Number 7. Project that tends to promote or favor a religion. You lost it before the application. Yes, even before you apply, you lost it. Number 9. Anything you do must be for charity. And the Pollination Project Foundation will not support you in any project that is designed to generate profit for you or any other person in the future. Finally, the funds, that's the grant funds, shall be paid directly to your accounts through wire transfer. So you or the organization you are applying with must be able to receive wire transfer and confirm that from your bank. But let's look at one of the most important section here, which is the project and cost that the pollination project will not fund. Number one, payments to grantee or grantee's family for their time or service. A grantee is the applicant, you, that is applying. The pollination project will not pay you for the service you are rendering throughout this project. It must purely be on voluntary basis. Anything that deals with the purchase of animals or animal products, including but not limited to meat, eggs, honey, and so on, will not be considered. Yes, the pollination project will not fund any projects or programs that will lead you or promote the trading, the eating, or the farming of animals or any of its products. Now, look at number 3 carefully. Beekeeping projects which produces honey for sale or human consumption. It's not just about beekeeping, it's also about poultry farming, fish farming, and others. I have met so many other persons that comes to Sanka Masterclass and told us they applied for the pollination project with their social enterprise, which is to help their community in some agricultural activities, particularly poultry farms and fish farms. I love them because they failed to take cognizance of this. The pollination project will not fund any projects or programs that involves the farming or that promotes the eating of animals. Another thing is the gardening of farming activities, which makes use of synthetic or chemical fertilizers. Let me quickly give an example. We helped someone from Onega in Rivers State, Nigeria. We assisted a lady who was severely hit by the 2022 flood in Nigeria. Her farms were damaged, the community were submerged by flood. Now she came up with an idea to start a community garden so that the community can feed from it. We prepared her application, she won, and we are working with her to ensure that in the next 60 days she must have submitted her report to the foundation. Now, we were very careful while planting cassava. We were very careful not to list that she will use chemical fertilizer, because once you made mention of that, the pollination project will not fund that or will not have funded that project. So there are certain things you need to take cognizance of while applying. They will not also fund anything that involves non-recycled paper, perhaps issuing of certificates or anything that deals with paper. So many persons said, okay, back to school program where we buy notebooks for the school children. This notebook, it is believed that the end product of it produce carbon dioxide and has a judge. So anything that will cause harm to the environment, the pollination project will not fund it. Yes, carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gases that led to global warming, which we are suffering today as climate change. Same thing applies to the last one there, the use of products like disposable plastic cups, plates, bags, and other plastic products, which pollutes our environment. These are projects that TTP will not fund. But let's look at some of the conditions. Some of the conditions that are very necessary. Yes, there are some conditions that are very necessary for you to reach. But for the sake of this video, I may not look at it critically because these conditions are general conditions that is necessary for you to win any grants, not just the pollination project. For you to win any grants at all, it is very important and I will share them with you in upcoming Sanka Masterclass. The next one, number 2, we look at Anaerobic Trust Fund. Yes, this grant is the financial support of the study and protection of endangered mammals, and more specifically, the African elephants. Endangered species are species who are already on extinction or going on extinction. The trust fund supports applicants with a maximum of €1,500 per project. The application is open 365 days a year. However, funding is scheduled 3 times in a year. That's 30th of April, 31st of August, and 31st of December every year. Let's look at the eligibility for the General Based Trust Fund before we look at the mode of application. Your project, for you to be eligible, it must be an ongoing project. This is unlike the pollination project, which is issued for you to initiate or to continue. That's the complete project. This one, the project must be an ongoing project or a pilot program. The project must be in sub-Saharan Africa. It must have a practical application to the lives of these animals. Purely research work will not be funded. The project must purely be for the conservation of mammals. This is what the General Based Trust Fund will support. Any other project outside this will not be supported by the General Based Trust Fund. The mode of application, you click on apply for funding, and there are 2 different forms here. The first thing here is the application processes, the criteria, while the other form here is the application form. You download the application form, fill and submit the application form to the email provided on it. Note, applications must be submitted through a professional email. What is a professional email? Professional emails are more or less organizational emails. Emails that does not end with at yahoo.com, at gmail.com, but ends with stuff like Mwekara at sankaempire.com or .app. So for you to submit this application, it must be submitted through a professional email. That is the criteria for this application. Number 3, we look at Peace Fest. Peace Fest is one of the organizations that is awarding grants, particularly to young people. Currently, Peace Fest is not accepting new projects. This is because they are reviewing other applications. With time, like back in a few days, they will be accepting new projects. Peace Fest is a grant with a maximum sum of $250 per project. It is purely for young people. It is a grant awarded to start a project. This is unlike the General Based Trust Fund, which is purely for project that is ongoing. Now, Peace Fest is purely for you to start a project. Peace Fest describes the problem you want to solve as an injustice in your community. And the core values of Peace Fest are compassion, courage, and collaboration. You can see them. Compassion, courage, and collaboration. So, in the next few days, check back on this website and you start your project. For you to start your project, you click here, start your project today, and that's all. What will it take to create an account with them and start your project? It has a very simple application process. Thank you very much. We hope that this helped you. If you don't know how to write your application for grants, business plan and pitch deck, proposals, or whatever, just register for Sanga Masterclass coming up on the 5th and 6th of May 2023. You will be a pro. You will write a professional business proposal. Thank you, and God bless you.